Well, nice to see you, Josh.
Aye, good to see you, mate. Good to see you.
Listen, let's get into it. You are now a retired fighter.
Yep.
That like for me, that feels strange to say. For you, it must just be. I mean, how does it sound to hear it?
I mean, it's starting to sort of settle in now. It's been kind of a rough few weeks, to be honest. You know, it's been kind of like falling off the edge of a cliff, because it's not as if it wasn't my ability that was holding me back. It was my medical problems, you know. So, and it's been ongoing for a number of years with this eye of mine. So, it was probably for the best in terms of my health. You know, looking life like after boxing. You know, I wouldn't forgive myself if I went on and continued and ended up going blind in this eye, and that was a huge risk and a big risk that I was going to be taking and gambling with if I was going to continue. And given what I've achieved in support, I just thought it's not worth the risk playing with my eyesight. It would be different if it was maybe my hands or my elbows, but something as precious as my sight, I says, nah, I'm not willing to take that risk, you know, because they did say that when I went in, they took the picture of the eyeballs. They saw a little tear in my retinal tissue. So I went in to get laser treatment, lasered up to get it tightened back up. And when they done it, they ended up finding 6 tears in my retinal tissue.
Okay.
So I'm pretty fortunate to be sitting here talking to you with my sight still intact, actually. So I had to count my blessings and say thank you to boxing, you know. But it's all good now, you know, it's all good now, so you never know, I'll come back, mate, come on.
You're fine now, yeah, you just have to try and convince Danielle, I'd imagine.
Yeah, that's it, you know, but no, it was quite a hard pill to swallow, because it was like sort of, kind of like falling off a cliff, you know. I knew I was kind of coming to the later end of my career, you know. I was maybe only going to box maybe 2 or 3 more times anyway, but to have been told basically you risk one more decent blow in the eye, then you risk losing your sight. So it was quite a tough pill to swallow. So I've been kind of struggling with that for the last little while, you know.
What are you doing to help yourself through this? Because this does sound awful, because it's been taken out of your hands, and everyone wants to end things on their own terms. Actually, not a lot of fighters do get the opportunity to just end it on their own terms. It's normally they go out getting knocked out or something like that. But you've had this taken away from you, the opportunity, and you didn't get to do your post-fight interview in Glasgow as well. So how are you sort of getting through it, just talking with family and stuff? Yeah,
I mean, I just talked with my wife, and a few of my friends have been around and stuff, so they've been comforting and been quite supportive of me, and, you know, but it's been kind of myself, you know. Just when I get time sitting to myself, I'm a bit, oh, fuck, you know, that's the end, you know. I'm like, well, what I've got to do now, you know, but you know, I've got things that I'm going to do, and getting into the gym again, get back into Lock End and teach the young kids coming through and things like that. And I've got hobbies that I've not been able to do due to boxing, sort of things like my motorbikes and things like that.
Yeah, you know, into all that, aren't you?
Risking going out with my motorbikes, I could never go out in case I come falling off, broke a hand or an elbow or something. So now I've not got the boxing to worry about that, so I can go out and do that if I want now. So yeah, I'm a bit of a daredevil and a bit of an adrenaline junkie. So yeah, it was either that or maybe jumping out of planes and stuff, you know, to get my adrenaline buzz.
Rather you than me, mate. Goodness me. So what is the image that you think of when you, if there was one image that you think of when you look back on your career? Is it you with all the belts? Is it something else? Is it the debut? What?
Yeah, there's loads. I've got nothing but good memories in the sport and what I've had, you know, and what I've achieved, and in such a short space of time, really, you know. I turned pro at 25 years old, so I kind of had to get on that moving train and at full speed, you know, and climb the ladder. You know, it was kind of sink or swim. You know, it was either if I'm going to do it, I'm good enough. I'm not, I wouldn't do it. So
quite fearlessly as well. You just went for hard fight after hard fight after hard fight.
Yeah, I mean, I took 2 or 3 fights. Obviously, at the start were sort of like journeyman, and then I just stepped up the class. You know, my 5th fight, my Commonwealth Games, Commonwealth belt, Commonwealth Championship. So. And then defended that a couple of times, then moved on to the WBC silver, and then straight into the WSB, you know, WBSS, sorry.
Yeah.
And it was just like big jump after big jump after big jump after big jump straight
There's
away.
too many
you know?
good pictures then. You can't just single out one because there's actually so many
I've
great.
got nothing but great memories. You know,
Yeah.
there's obviously the last sort of 2-3 years was kind of hindered with injuries and niggles, which kind of showed in the performances because I wasn't able to sort of prepare properly because I had sort of limitations. You know, with obviously with the plantar fascia tendon tear, I couldn't train properly for 6 months with that. I couldn't run, couldn't do any leg training.
But your legacy was intact.
Everything
By
was
that
in
point,
thing, yeah.
you'd done it. You'd already climbed Everest.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I always did say that from the Ramirez fight, anything from here on in is a bonus.
Yeah.
But it is a little bit frustrating because I kind of got stopped in my tracks when I was in my full pump. You know, I got stopped in the tracks with COVID and all that kind of stuff. And in my last 4 years, I only fought once a year.
Yeah.
So it kind of killed all the momentum really. So it was a bit of a pain in the side, but it is what it is. I'm still very proud of what I achieved in the sport. You know, maybe the last couple of fights weren't very good, but yeah, I'm proud of what I achieved in the sport. You know, and I can walk around and with my head held very high and very proud of what I went out on to achieve and put Scottish boxing back on the map and gave these lads and girls the opportunity to fight on big stages because we get starved up here for the big shows, or the talent up here gets starved the chance to show their talent on the big stage. So I'm pretty proud that I had that opportunity to do that, and every time they asked me where I wanted to fight, it was always in Scotland.
Scotland, yeah.
Because I like to represent Scotland and represent the people that are coming through that are at the back of me. Nathaniel's coming through now as well. You know, he was on a couple of undercards and things like that, and there's a lot of other talents coming through. The guys that have won the Commonwealth Games and stuff in Birmingham, they're all coming through now. So I was able to give them a chance to showcase some skills up here in the shows up here, because we don't get the chance to do it anywhere else. So yeah, I'm pretty proud of the fact that I was able to represent Scotland and put Scotland on the map.
And Preston Pans, a
Yeah,
place
absolutely.
that I'd never heard of in my entire life until you popped up.
Have you heard of it now?
I've heard of it now, so mission completed. I'll tell you what's been interesting around all of this retirement. I've never seen so much Josh Taylor love across social media.
Yeah.
I mean, normally how have you felt about that? Because normally you like being they're all against me, backs against the wall, me against the world kind of thing. But they all love you, Josh.
No, it's been great. I didn't expect the amount of love that I have been getting, you know, and it's not just been from people in Scotland. That's been overwhelming. I've still got messages that I've yet to go through. But I've had lots of messages from people in England and people abroad, people from America, people in Australia, like loads of messages saying like we're gutted that you've retired. We loved watching you fight. We came over to a couple of your fights and stuff like that. So the love that I've had has been just kind of overwhelming. Really, it's been really comforting. To be fair, you know, it's been nice to know that I've had an effect in the sport and I've had a good following and I've had a good journey. And I was like to think that I was quite exciting to watch. You know, I was always in an action-packed fight. So yeah, it's been really nice. So anyone that I haven't got back to yet, just like to. I will get back to you in due time, but I've still literally got about 1,000 messages to get through. So, but yeah, that's been quite nice and comforting. At this sort of time when I've announced it, it's been sort of like on a low. You know, I've been on a low, but all the messages of support have been helped lift
you up
it.
a bit.
Yeah.
Which win meant the most? Was it the Prograis one?
Yeah, there is that one. Yeah, I'd probably say the Prograis one, due to there was a lot of like sort of personal circumstances.
Yeah, that was an emotional night for you.
Yeah, it was very emotional. So my wife's dad passed away like literally 5 or 6 weeks before the fight, and I couldn't be there for my wife and her family. And I was on the phone when I was in camp, and on the phone to her, I said, right, I need to go to train and stuff, and I kind of had to block it all out, you know. So I still get quite emotional when I talk about it.
Because you're blocking her out as well.
Because I had to block her out, and I couldn't be there for her, and yeah, it was tough, you know. And I had a good relationship with James as well, so it was kind of tough that I couldn't really be there, and I had to block it all out. And then obviously on the Prograis fight, I fought my heart out. There was no way anybody was beating me that night. You know, like I think I fought about 5 or 6 rounds with no vision in this eye, and but I just refused to lay down and refused to get beat. And I'd say that was my sweetest victory, because it meant a whole lot. You know, obviously when I got my hand raised, I fell at my knees, and I couldn't control my emotions. You know, it was. I would say that was the sweetest one. You know, that was probably the one that meant the most. Yeah.
Oh, I remember you saying you heard him at one point in the fight. You heard him, and he got you through it, like bite down, because it was a hard fight. That was to and fro. You know, Prograis.
Yeah,
at that
it was
point
a tough
was
fight
very good.
because obviously we were both southpaws, so the left hand was coming here, and that was the eye it was shut down, and I just couldn't see anything coming really from about round 6 or 7 onwards. Couldn't see anything coming out of this eye, and I just kept thinking about James. You know, and I could sort of hear him talking to me, like, "Come on." He would say things I can't really say here, the language he would use, but he would say, "Come on, you little effer," and all that, you know, and you can do this. But I could hear him in my head, and it just drove me to I just refused to lay down. You know, there was just no way I was getting beat. So yeah, that's one that's probably the most emotional one that when I think about it, and even when I still watch that fight now, when I see my reaction to me getting my hand raised, it brings back all them emotions, and I almost feel like crying again.
Yeah.
You know, but
I'm almost there with you, Josh, to be honest.
It was mad. So yeah, that's probably the sweetest one. You know, because it meant a lot. It wasn't just about boxing; it meant a lot with my wife and family and stuff. So yeah, it meant a lot, that one.
So you've done it all then, Josh. You can go out. Are you in a position now where you can look back kind of happily, or are you still quite sad about it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm in high spirits in terms of, you know, what I've achieved in support, and the support that I've had, and the nights that I've provided up here and in Scotland, and went to Madison Square Garden, and so yeah, I'm very proud. I'm very, very proud of that fact. But I'm also kind of torn apart a little bit as well, because it's kind of been ripped away from me at the last minute, in the last chapter really. You know, my last 3 fights haven't been the best, but I did feel that I still had plenty to give. So it's kind of painful that it's been taken away from. It's been kind of taken out of my hands really. I could have probably still continued. I've had the surgery and
what's the point?
The things done, but it's a big risk, you know, a big risk for what else to do, for like what else to achieve. Maybe win another title at welterweight, or earn a few more quid. It's not worth risking my sight for. You know, I've got a whole lot of life left to live. You know, and I can talk to you now about it quite openly and sort of without getting all emotional. You know, I still do get emotional, but I've kind of come to terms with that a little bit now. I can now kind of go and look and see what's other avenues I can go down now. So I'm quite optimistic now. You know, I've kind of done the hurting and done the sort of depression kind of bit. I'm kind of feeling a little bit better now.
Good.
Yeah,
I'm
which
glad
is good,
to hear it. Listen, it's been a pleasure. It's such a shame that you've come to Queensberry so late on, because we've only got like one fight. We come up to Glasgow with you. It's such a shame, but the time that I have spent with you, thoroughly enjoyed it, and one of my favourite fighters. So,
aye, thanks very much. Cheers.
Right, best of luck, Josh.
Thank you very much.